Andrew from Mileage Tracker, and welcome to another one of our Tracker Spotlights. This is a time where we introduce you to one of our trackers. In the Mileage Tracker, we have the privilege of working with a wide range of talented business people who are really great at what they do. And we want to introduce them to you so you can benefit from their expertise as well. I mean, for all of us, we all need to know someone to call, someone to contact when we have an issue, or someone we can refer to our friends when they need some help. And we want to know somebody good. And we at Mileage Tracker have made use of a number of our trackers services and had with really great results. They are some terrific people. And so today we want to introduce you to Victoria Wright, who is a real estate professional with Coldwell Banker in the Atlanta area. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Look at your beautiful face.
And you with your pink outfit.
I haven't seen you in forever. Due to COVID, we can't even see each other. This is fantastic.
I know it. And you probably do a lot of these Zoom meetings, right?
Not as many as you might have thought. It was a really crazy year last year for me, but we're getting back into it now. And yes, I'm doing more of them and seeing and participating.
Guess what? I went into my broker this morning.
Yeah.
And just to ask her to give me a little overview of the Atlanta market.
Right.
And she says, oh, it was my lucky day. She says, it's just come out today, the hot off the press Atlanta market stuff. I said, okay. And I proceeded to tell her why I needed it, right?
Right. Yeah.
That I was going to have an interview with you. And I explained who you were.
Right.
And she says, ooh, that sounds like a neat company. She says, why don't you have her come in and speak to us sometime?
Oh, awesome.
And I said, well, I think I could twist Sandra's arm.
Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah, that was easy. I'm here.
I think she could sell.
Such a pushover I am.
I said, I think that's what she does for a living. So.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're just delighted. Everyone that we can help, we're really delighted for it. And but we've met so many great people too, like you. And just the other day, in fact, this is something I'm going to be sending out a link to all our trackers and asking them if they would like to do like a mileage tracker networking event from maybe once a month or something like that, where you could tune and you could meet some of the other trackers and connect with them and do some business together. Because one of the people one of our trackers who found out that you drove the 5 millionth mile, he was like, oh, we have synergy. I'd like to meet her,
Oh.
And I thought, yeah, see, you guys don't even know. And I thought there's something else we should be really doing more of, is getting, everyone some more exposure.
Right. I mean, truly, I would be intrigued to know what other businesses use your service. Yeah, we all need to network. I mean, we're all in selling. I remember when I met you at that networking event. It was some drinking event. We
Yes.
hors d'oeuvres.
Do you remember that? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know if you put it on or who put it on, but I used to do things like that a good bit and go to,
Me too.
And of course now we can't right now, but I need to do that more because we need more business. Russ and I mean, we do, my partner and my husband's all for it. Yeah. He was in sales for 43 years and
wow. Yes. And he knows it's all about connections.
Right. It's all about networking and he wants me to get involved with the chamber and on and on. So let's do it. Just put me in front of a few and I'd be happy to talk and be on Zoom with them and get to know them. Who knows? We can help each other.
It's always surprising of who knows who and who knows people, even in other areas, even if they're not in your area. Sometimes it's really funny because like my developer is out of the Atlanta area. One of my developers anyways is out of the Atlanta area, and when we got to know each other, his wife was from the Buffalo area, which is another area where we have trackers. And it was so funny. You would never realize they would have connections in, another area that you were in that was totally disparate from where they were.
Right. And I'm in a network with real estate. It's called CRS. It's like a master's in real estate.
Okay.
I got, so many courses under my belt buckle. and it's called CRS. And so I can refer people all over the country, not just in the state of Georgia where I'm licensed. Say if I have someone moving to California, I can call a CRS agent in California
Gotcha.
that's more certified, more that has more professional coursework, and I just feel like they're just better. They would just be the best, top of the cream of the crop realtor to hook my person up with, and just would take care of them. And I would know would be the professional I would want to have taking over my business in California. The top 3% of realtors is who that network
Oh,
that I'm in. So, you
wow.
know, so if it's someone in Buffalo, say if
Yeah.
I met your Trakker in Buffalo, I could say, okay, Trakker in Buffalo, I can, if you are looking for a new house in Buffalo or your relatives are,
Mm-hmm.
I can attach them to a CRS agent in Buffalo. I can't help them, but I can give them a professional agent up there.
Right.
They might not know a good agent.
Right. Exactly. Because you know it's all about that, and
Everybody
this is
knows agents. They all know realtors, but they may not know one of the best realtors to go to. Because in
right.
the market, you got to have a realtor that knows what they're doing.
Well, this is what I was going to talk about. I want to, introduce you and ask if you get you to answer a few questions as we go along, so that people can learn. Because I was going to say, boy, when I've known you, we've known each other for several years now, and when I think about you, I always think that Victoria is so professional, and she's very calm all the time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
and
not
and
yelling
poise
at my
and just
partner.
gets the job done, which is back to, I'm going to put in the story about the 5 millionth mile, because honest to God, that was so funny to me. That, for those of you who know that, in Mileage Tracker, this is a funny story about Victoria and I. In Mileage Tracker, we recently, on March 8th, we tracked the 5 millionth mile driven, and that's a huge milestone for us. And what it really means to our trackers is that means we've tracked 3 million business miles and put about somewhere on average between 1.6 1.7 million dollars back in our trackers pockets. So it's a big deal for them, and it's a big deal for us. And we had a lot of excitement going on about it with people. We get the trackers trying to guess what day and time it might happen, and then we just announced who drove the 5 millionth mile. And we were explaining to people that it's going to be someone who drove the 5 millionth mile, but you're not going to actually see 5 million exactly, because we're going to get close at one point, and then somebody's going to make a trip and it's just going to take us over the 5 millionth, and you'll say, well, that person drove the 5 millionth mile. But on that day, when we were busy checking that odometer and watching it spin as people took trips, we got down to 4,999,998. And then we were just waiting for someone else to take a trip, and saying, hey, this is going to be it. And somehow Victoria, just going about her own business, doing whatever she needed to do that day, she left in wherever she was and went to where she needed to be and drove exactly 2 miles. We could not believe when that odometer rolled and 5 million showed up right on the money. The chances of that happening is literally infinitesimal. Infinitesimal. And when I called Victoria another day to say, hey, congratulations, you're the winner of the 5 millionth mile, she was like, she started laughing. She says, oh, you're funny. And just kind of went on like, well, of course, I just did that in my spare time.
Well, guess what? I was driving from my house to my office. That's been it because it's exactly 2 miles.
That's too funny. I mean, it was so funny. But in this crazy real estate market, I keep thinking, boy, what you want is someone who stays calm, poised, and is professional and can get you through this. So let me ask you, so I think all across the country I'm hearing this, but particularly I'm hearing it in the Atlanta area, that this is a wild, crazy market, and it's a seller's market right now, is it? Tell us.
Yes, ma'am, it is. And I'm a Southern girl, and I said yes, ma'am, to a lot of people. I don't think you're older than I am, but yes, ma'am, it is. We've never seen a market like this one, not across the nation, not even in the downturn of the market in 2008. It was crazy, but this
Hmm.
is the crazy market during a pandemic. We have seen growth like nobody's business. And right now, I have the hot off the press what's happening in Fulton County, Atlanta,
Okay.
the seat of Atlanta.
I'm
Um,
just going to interrupt for 1 second and
yeah,
tell the people listening that Victoria is in the Atlanta area. She's in the John Creek area herself, personally, and your office is in Duluth. Am I correct?
it is in Johns Creek,
Oh,
and
it's
I
in John
might
Creek. Okay.
say that it is the highest per capita city in the state of Georgia.
Wow. And I know you also will do the surrounding areas as well. So we're going to let you tell people, what area you actually will cover. And so when she's going to talk about, she's going to be really up to date on what's happening in the Atlanta market, but it can be similar to what's going on in a number of areas around the country.
Right. I work as far as my car will take me. I will go to North Georgia. I will go to South Atlanta. I care about my clients. I care about my customers, and I will drive, far. And if I don't go, I will refer them to someone that can take care of that area better than I can if they know it better than I. But yes, I cover a lot of cities.
Okay. Well, tell us about hot off the press here.
Hot off the press, I'm not going to give you a ton of stats, just about four or five,
Hmm.
because stats can bore people if they're not right in front of the data.
Yeah.
But as far as in we have a 2020 and 2021 comparisons, so I'll give you the change percents. New listings have gone down. People are nervous about putting their home on the market because they're not sure they can find a home to purchase, right?
Right.
So we're down about 21% in the city
Wow.
of Atlanta.
Whew.
Closed sales are down only about 3.5%. So there were homes, that were on the market
Mm.
that have closed about negative 3%. Days on the market is what's really, really crazy. Last year, 2020, the heat of the pandemic, they were on the market for about 57 days
Okay.
each
And even
house.
that's fairly short from some of
That's
the other
very
years we've seen. Yeah. Hmm.
130,
Yeah, exactly.
180. Now they're only on the market about 39 days at the most.
Wow.
That I see in Alpharetta and John Creek are on the market for about 2.5 hours.
Oh my gosh, 2.5 hours. I can't even imagine that. Well,
Yeah.
I read a thing and I want to know if you think this is about the real estate market currently, and I want to know if you think this describes it. It says, think of the real estate market as a game of musical chairs. During a buyer's market, you've got 10 chairs and 8 people buying.
Right.
And during a seller's market, you've got 8 chairs and 10 people buying.
Yes.
But during today's market, you've got about 3 chairs, 37 people, but now the chairs are on fire, the floor is on fire, and we're being chased around the room by an axe wielding psychopath.
Sandra, you never cease to amaze me. You're out with me today. I know you would. I know you would.
I just,
That is awesome. That is awesome.
so, what advice would you like say to people who might be interested, say, in selling their house right now, and they're on the line because there's a lot of considerations. You're right. I've heard people say, "Well, if I sell my house, what am I going to buy? Am I going to be able to buy something?" And also, if you can also address for us, like because of COVID, some of the precautions and stuff you have to say, like, do I want to have a lot of people strolling through my house, as it were?
The thoughts of that went through my mind when COVID first hit. And I was one of the first ones in our office to come up with the packet of COVID protection things, all of, let's just get a list of the 10 items we need as listing agents to present to our listing, prospects of the package that we're going to, bring to your home, the
Right.
booties, the gloves, the liquid hand sanitizers. This is what we're going to give you and have it at the front door before, and we're going to put, no one touch the handles, leave all of your closet doors open, that everything to protect you. And if you do not want to have people in your home, we will video, we will have, every visual we can have for, the individuals that do not want people in your homes. So realtors exponentially started thinking on their feet of ways to present homes without, infringing on the seller
That's
and
good. Yeah.
protect the buyers too. You
Yeah,
know,
well, it helps kind of give people some confidence that, that's okay. It's still going to be okay if I wanted to sell right now, if this, in this good market, it's okay. There'll be precautions. I won't feel like, you know, I'm being contaminated, as it were. And
yeah,
of course, the more the vaccines come out, the better this is all going to be for everyone. It's just
absolutely,
going to make it
absolutely. And
easier.
as far as the buyer, on the buyer side, you need to be a sophisticated buyer today, no doubt. And um, there's about five things, six things. Of course, it's better to go above list. You need the best case scenario is to have all cash. Uh, Offer the most earnest money you can to make yourself look the most attractive and interested in that property to win. Buy as is, buy the house in the as is condition.
Oh, now that's a new one for sure because I know like previously everybody wanted everything like done and fixed to the nines and everything. And so,
You're bringing on a little bit of a legal risk for yourself, but major potential reward if you are financially at peace with yourself. If you can afford to go in and spend 4 or 5 thousand on those, repairs yourself,
mhm,
you're better to get your own contractors anyway.
absolutely.
In most cases, than have the seller, get his little handy mandy man and the repair and not do it up to par, at the last minute anyway, the month before you buy. So, all in all, there's another option that to put in a little bit more option money in that section on the contract of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 that goes to the seller no matter what. You can afford to lose a couple of thousand, do that. You will win
Interesting.
the bid. You will win the bid. Other people are more, that can't afford that. But if you're a 2 or 3 or 4 time buyer, you've built up equity, you've got money in the bank, you were an executive typically at that stage in the game.
Hmm.
You can afford 1,000 or 2,000 to win that house of your dreams. Go ahead and do that and have that extra time, um, the due diligence time, more than 5 days. Go ahead and buy that option for 8 to 10 days. Have
Okay.
your inspection done, and then if you lose the option money, lose that 2 or 3 thousand. It won't be a big deal. It'll be worth that potential home of your dreams.
And because the prices, I take it, are continuing to go up.
Right, right. They're continuing to go up. As a matter of fact, the prices went up 28%,
Oh, wow.
28.2% from
Wow.
2020 to 2021, almost 30%, Sandra.
Wow. Do you
In
find that more people are moving like out of the downtown, like closer in, and moving further out toward the suburbs? I mean, Atlanta is a big area of suburbs all around the downtown anyway, but are they moving even further out to have a little more space?
Not really.
Okay.
Some people are, but it's not like we were hearing about New York and a lot of
Right.
people in the pandemic wanting to leave the high rises with COVID and wanting to be away from next door
Right.
to next door,
Yeah.
right? People are going to want to stay in the city,
Yeah. And
they're
because
not
Atlanta
going
is kind of like it is a series of suburbs all around a circle.
right.
So you're kind of in the suburbs of one suburb or another if you're in Atlanta. And I'm
We're
just pointing
still
that out to anyone who's listening that maybe doesn't know how Atlanta is laid out,
right.
what
We're
their
still
situation.
seeing tear downs and buildups in Brookhaven, in Charlotte, North Carolina, right in the city. You're going to see tear downs and build and rebuilds,
Okay,
of
great.
these properties.
Now, how many, like, what do buyers have to feel like they're up against? Were they, are you seeing like they're getting three or four bids on every house coming through, or?
Definitely, definitely. Up to, when the house goes on the market, 40 people are looking at it each day.
Wow.
In
So, I
our
mean, it's a
area,
great time to sell. If you're ready to sell, it's a great time to sell.
yes, you just need to know where you're going to go
Go.
next.
Right. And that's the part. How do you, try to help people who maybe would consider listing their home, how do you get them prepared for finding another place if they have to have somewhere to go and they're not just, going to retire to my, I have another house in another state and I'm going to retire over there sort of thing.
I know. It's in building and construction they're going up all around new construction, but we are hearing, the price of lumber has skyrocketed. So from the beginning of the house to the
Yes.
end of the house, lock in the beginning because construction costs are going up. It's in general, it's a crazy market, but it's such a fun market to be in because people are excited about it.
And there's
Uh,
things happening.
and
Yeah.
yes, there is, it's action packed. And part of my job is you think of me as being a calm person, and I am. And I think that has been to my advantage to keep my clients calm and
Yes.
positive.
Right.
And I just sold a house this week to a couple moving from Louisiana to Atlanta, sight unseen,
Wow.
unseen. And their son finally saw it on the last day of due diligence. He lives here,
Uh-huh.
and he put his stamp of approval on it. But the
Nice.
couple from Louisiana are a empty nesting couple, and they trusted in my eyes,
Oh,
and
great. So
you know
did they look at it on video sort of thing, like
video,
online? Yep.
professional pictures. Yes,
And because you
through
are
my
very,
film, I took pictures and sent over and over. Yes, but
yeah,
anyway, you see a lot of that going on right now because they can't get on a plane and fly here quick
no,
enough to see a house. It's gone.
exactly,
As a
exactly.
matter of fact, he came to Atlanta for 2 days, and four of the houses he was going to see were sold before he got here.
Wow.
It
Wow.
is when I say crazy, Sandra. but it's fun, but it is frustrating too. It, we're waiting for it to level off a little bit,
Yes.
because it does wear you out emotionally. Me, because you, people get their hopes up, and especially it's hard for the first time buyer because
Yes.
the first time buyer doesn't have that extra cash to put over and
Right.
above the list price.
Yes.
But they
Yes.
have to go through about 4 or 5 or 6 contracts or more offers before they get the house.
And I think that's the thing where you're going to have to manage the expectations for that.
That's exactly right.
Because it's hard. You get all excited. You really like this one, and and then you don't get it.
That's the
And
top thing right here on my list. Set expectations.
see, this is what it's like when you work with professionals. It really is, folks. I mean, you need to know someone who's been in the market for a while, who understands the area they're dealing with, and knows how the system works so that they can help you go through it and with more ease and not be so up and down and devastated and excited and all over the place. Okay, you can just get your way through. And so you may have to realize that if you're a new first time home buyer, or even any home buyer, you might have to find multiple houses that you like, that you think could be the one that you would be happy in, to be
Right,
able to find one that you might actually win the contract on, right?
right. And you have to also say, okay, we know you have a lot of wants. What are your main needs? What do you have to have in this house? What are them, and put them in priority because you're not going to get every single thing in this market right now.
Right,
Um, and maybe go ahead and buy now, and in 3 years, you know,
right, right. The price,
sell in, and you'll build equity, and then get the house of your dreams.
right.
But buy while the interest rates are what they are. That's another thing that's so wonderful right now. 3%. I
3%. Yes, I know
I
when, I
bought
know.
2 houses. I owned 2 at one time when we were transferring.
Oh yeah.
17% and 21%.
Ooh,
So
ooh,
people,
ooh.
3% is okay.
Yeah, yeah, all day long, all day long.
And if it goes to 3.1, don't cry too
Yeah,
much.
it's okay. Really, it could be so much worse, so much worse.
Fred,
Yeah.
oh Fred. But it is, the interest rates are wonderful, and that's why I encourage right now to buy so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, and we also got to encourage the sellers to who are thinking, yes, they would like, to cash out now, or they'd like to move to another place to go ahead and put that house on the market now.
Market and try to get another what you want if you need larger or smaller.
Right.
That's like
Because
your
the
dad.
more of them that will do that, the more inventory there will be to shuffle around, as it were. You know, there'll be
Right.
something for you to buy because someone else put theirs up as well, and so forth. And you just gotta go ahead and ease yourself into that water because it's
Supply and demand.
it's hot right now, so it's
All
it's all for the good. So Victoria, how do people reach out to you if they want to talk to you?
email, phone,
Okay, so
go through the brokerage. I have a website, globalluxuryrealestateteam.net. I have my Coldwell Banker website. Um,
okay, we will put those links then in the bottom when we put this out, so people can find you
mhm.
and ask some questions. I mean, talk to Victoria and get the scoop on how things could work for you. The Atlanta area is a beautiful area. John Creek up there is absolutely gorgeous, but there's a lot of nice areas, and she can help you find the right thing. And very, very responsible and professional. And so we're happy, and we've always been happy to have Victoria as a tracker. I think it's taken for our trackers. We find it takes one headache off of their plate. They don't have to deal with it, but they can just get their money.
Right. In my former life, I was a marketing teacher, and I had to keep up with my mileage then. I was a vocational teacher in high school and college, and I got to use my mileage and get reimbursed. And I had to keep a log constantly for 25 years.
Oh
And
gosh.
then when I met Sandra and I became a real estate agent, this opportunity came before me at Mileage Tracker, plugged that instrument in my car, and then to get on my computer every day, I could just keep up with my mileage. It was just been great. It's been wonderful. My tax accountant had never seen a printout like I gave him 5 years ago or 4 years whenever I started with Sandra, and he was very impressed. And I've used it since then, and will never look back. As a matter of fact, this afternoon when I met with my broker for a few minutes, I was telling her about it, and she's a new broker to me. I had mentioned it before to my other broker and the office, and she wants to meet with Sandra or talk with Sandra and introduce this to our office as 120 agents in our office. And so, she thought it was just a terrific idea for the amount of money a month. It's just minuscule for a
Oh yeah,
record.
the return people get is in the 150 to 300% return on their money. I say to people, where else could you put your money and get that kind of return? Well, maybe real estate, but 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 other than that, I mean, it's an incredible return. So we just a lot of people leave it on the table when they shouldn't because they find it too hard to even understand the rules or keep up with it. And that's the thing where what we try to do for people is we do the backup documentation in the right way. We find out what the rules are, we figure out what applies to you, and we do it that way for you so that you don't have to worry, you get to keep the money. And
And
so
I
that's
like it for, not only real estate, but for my medical reasons and personal reasons. And just also just to see how many miles my car, run in the different avenues, because I'm going for a new car in a couple of months. And it just helps to keep up with all of that in the
yes.
divisional of how much do I use my car for business? How much
Right.
do I use it for
Yeah, and
personal?
then when you switch cars, you have to have a separate set of records for the previous vehicle and a new set of records for the new vehicle and all that stuff. And we keep all that straight for you, so you don't have to think about it or try to go back and think, oh no, when did I buy that? And when do I have to separate that out? And when do I have to do? No, just never mind with all that. Just we'll get that covered. You just drive. You just do what you're going to do, because you are an expert in what you do, And that's what you need to be focused on. And that's what when people want to move and they want to be in the in the Atlanta area, they want to reach out to someone like this that they feel is focused on them and what the situation at hand, and not a lot of extraneous other stuff that just gets in the way.
And I want to say that Sandra and her company has always taken care of. If there's a glitch in going on with her company, something about the tracker, she'll handle it, take care of it as expedient as she possibly can. She's all on top of it. If there's a change in technology, as fast as she knows about it, she'll take care of it.
We appreciate that. So it's been great chatting with you. It's been great to introduce you to our trackers. As I say, we'll put your contact information at the bottom of this when we publish it so that people can find you and reach out to you. And we hope they do, because you're a good person to know in this market. And good luck, everyone, with your buying and selling of homes.
Yeah.
This is the time. So great to talk to you, Victoria. We'll sign off now, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Sandra. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Well, everyone, that was Victoria Wright with Coldwell Banker Atlanta. And you can reach out to her at victoria.wright@coldwellbankeratlanta.com. And it is fascinating to me to learn about this really hot market in the Atlanta area and across the country. And isn't it nice to know someone's professional, calm, that you can deal with, who can navigate you through it. I thought it was also cool to learn that she works with other professionals in other areas and other states. So if you're wondering who is good, who's reputable, who's got a good understanding of the market, she could refer you to the right person. So it's always good to have someone who can help you connect the dots. And that's what we like. And we're excited, and we're so happy to have her as a tracker. We've had her in our program for several years, and it's just been wonderful from both sides. So we hope that you enjoyed it, that you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Victoria and the Atlanta market. And also, if you do drive for business and you'd like to find out about how our trackers just plug and go, then reach out to us. You can find us here at mileagetracker.com. And we have a little chat box. You can reach out to us there. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, Mileage Tracker. You can connect with us on LinkedIn. You can connect with me, Sandra Spiller, on LinkedIn, and just start a conversation, because basically we tell our trackers, that's a box full of money and it just pours out as you drive. And we handle all the tedious, awful paperwork stuff that nobody wanted to do. So you can just do what you do best, and then at the end, collect all this money that you were entitled to. And it's a lot of money for everybody every year. So we're here to help. Anyways, that was the Tracker Spotlight. We'll see you next time. Bye.